a black car dart out into the street, dart out of a side street, and start to come across at our vehicle. Now, we knew from a lot of the other after-action reports that we were reading that the terrorists were loading vehicles full of explosives. And then they were coming off of side streets, just like I was looking at, and they were running them right into the side of vehicles and then detonating them and blowing themselves up. This was happening quite frequently at the time. And so it was a very, very big concern. And we knew that we had seconds to react. Like you had seconds to decide what you were going to do. And I saw this car come off the side street, and I rolled over with my rifle because you couldn't use the big machine gun because you couldn't swing the turret around fast enough. You'd be dead. So you ran with your M4 with your machine gun, and I rolled over the side of the vehicle, over the edge of the base plate, and I dropped right down on front of that guy's windshield. And typically the way you would do it was you would start in the middle of their hood, and you'd start putting rifle rounds into their hood. And if they kept driving, you'd go in the hood, in the hood, in the windshield, in the windshield, in the windshield, in the top of the car. So you gave them a last-ditch effort to stop before they got there if you could. If not, you would literally rake rounds right into the driver's side seat. And I rolled over. My weapon was already off safe. I was ready to fire. My finger was on the trigger, and I saw in the passenger seat a little, must have been a 6-year-old girl. A little girl. And this guy slammed on his brakes as he darted out, and he saw my vehicle there. Okay? Now I knew, because I had done my study, because I had, I was constantly staying up to date with the current tactics that the enemy was using at that time, that no suicide bombers rolled in pairs, and none of them had children. The reason is if you got two people willing to kill themselves, you break them up and you have each of them take a chance. You don't put them in the same vehicle together. And despite how, really dastardly these guys were, they didn't kill kids. And I rolled over and I saw that little girl, and instantly my finger came off the trigger and I pulled back up and I started looking for other potential dangers. Okay. Now the moral of the story is this. Had I not done the visualization, had I not been so diligent and so tireless, had I not been in that regiment every single day of not saying, oh, this is tired, oh, we haven't been hit in a couple of weeks, they're saying the attacks are down, so I don't really need to be as diligent anymore. I don't really have to be as careful. Or if I had just been indiscriminate in the way that I had delivered, my potential wrath. If I had not been prepared, I would have shot that little girl's daddy right in front of her. And then I'd have drove off. You don't stop. You don't go check on him, see if that guy was really a terrorist. You just drive away. At that time, they didn't even do reports. You just went back. Hey, anybody got any bullet holes? Okay, it's a good day. Right? Because I treated it like I was a professional. Because I knew what I was supposed to be doing, because I took the time to visualize my plan and to visualize what was going to happen. Every possible instance, I was able to make good and rational decisions during one of the most stressful times anybody will ever encounter in their entire lives. Now, I want to take that story, and I tell you that story to drill home this very important point. All right? We are in the business of trading. That is not a life